Hey everyone, we will be starting shortly. Hope you are cuddled and nice and warm. Just want to let you know that there are some chairs in front of the stage that are available if you feel you need to sit down. Those of you who can stand, please make way for people that need to sit. Thank you so much. Just one more quick announcement. We want to leave a little bit of space between the stage and where the crowd starts. So everybody that's in front of the stage, if you can back up a little bit, it's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.
Barry, you want to make another announcement? Sure. What's that? What's the announcement? Same thing. Just say the same thing. About the chairs? Yeah. Repeat exactly what you said before.
Once again, if I can have your attention, there are some chairs located in front of the stage. If you leave the chairs available for those who feel they need to sit. Thank you so much.
Erev Tov, Laila Tov. גבירותיי ורבותיי, ברוכים הבאים. אנחנו עם ישראל. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are the people of Israel. And Am Israel Chai, and the people of Israel are alive. My name is Gustavo Zettner, and I am the president of the Jewish Federation of Winnipeg. We thank you all for being here and for your committed support. We are gathered here tonight to come together in a spirit of healing, to share and support each other. Tonight, we're here because of an unprecedented terrorist attack on the state of Israel and the Jewish people all over the world. Anachnu Am Echad. We are one people, we are one nation. We are the Jewish nation. I would like to recognize that as one nation, we are gathered on Treaty 1 territory, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Ray River Métis Nation. We acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we dedicate ourselves to move forward in partnership with indigenous communities in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. May we live with respect on this land and live in peace and friendship with its peoples. No one better than the Jewish communities around the world know the meaning of our affiliation and belonging to the land. And that land is the state of Israel. Medinat Eretz Israel, Medinat Artzeinu. It is my pleasure to recognize our official dignitaries and representatives that are joining us this evening. The Honorable Anita Neville, Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba. The Honorable Heather Stephenson, the 24th Premier of Manitoba. Mr. Ben Carr, Member of Parliament. Wav Kinu, Premier Designate of the Province of Manitoba, and soon to become the 25th Premier of Manitoba. His Worship, Mayor Scott Gillingham, Mayor of the City of Winnipeg. Thank you for being with us tonight. Tonight, I will deliver remarks on behalf of the Jewish Federation of Winnipeg and the majority of the organizations that are part of our community, united as one community in support of Eretz Israel. I would now like to welcome the leadership of the following Jewish organizations to the stage and be recognized. Their unwavering commitment and efforts to contribute to the strength and cohesiveness of our community, especially during these challenging times, are fundamental to all of us. I will proceed to read their names, and I invite all of them, President and CEOs of the organizations that form the fabric of the Jewish community in Winnipeg, to join me on stage as I read their organizations. Hadass Yishrun Yetzriya Congregation, Aleph Bet Child Enrichment Center, Asper Jewish Community Campus, Bnei Brit Canada, BB Camp, BBYO and BBYO International, Camp Masad, Canadian Associates of Ben Gurion University of the Negev, Chabad Lubavitch of Winnipeg, Chaburat Tfilah, Chesed Shel Emes, Chevra Mishnaset Synagogue, Congregation Eitz Chaim, Congregation Sha'arei Tzedek, GROW, Gray Academy of Jewish Education, Wen Sector Creative Living Center, Hebrew Congregation of Winnipeg Beach, Hillel Winnipeg, Jewish Child and Family Services, the Jewish Federation of Winnipeg, the Jewish Foundation of Manitoba, Jewish Heritage Center of Western Canada, Jewish National Fund, Limud Winnipeg, National Council of Jewish Women Canada Winnipeg Section, the Rady JCC, Sarah Sommer High Folk Ensemble, Sol and Claribel Simkin Center, Shalom Residence Inc., Stand With Us, Talmud Torah Beit Yaakov Synagogue, Temple Shalom, Winnipeg Jewish Theater, the World Jewish Congress, the Lauder Fellowship, and Hillel International Student Representative Body. These people behind me are the leadership and the fabric of one community, coming here tonight to deliver one message, a message of healing, a message of peace, and our unequivocal stand against terror, the terror that Hamas has brought within our people, within our nation, in the state of Israel. Thank you all for joining me on stage. Please welcome Gray Academy student Aaron Greaves, accompanied by David Vamos on piano, who will lead us through the Canadian and Israel national anthems. I invite you to please stand up. Thank you. Tonight, we are gathered in utter dismay with broken hearts. 3 days ago, a pogrom took place in Israel that has shaken Jews around the world to their very core. Hamas terrorists invaded Israel, randomly slaughtering young people at an outdoor festival, brutally invading the sanctity of civilians' homes and ripping sleeping children from their beds. They violated civilians and dragged the young and old into Gaza Strip as captives. What happened in Israel was barbaric, and it's a nightmare turned reality for Jews around the world. The event has been compared to Israel's own 9/11, its own Pearl Harbor. More Jews were killed in these attacks than in any single day since the Holocaust. Let us honor the memory of more than 900 lives brutally taken, over 2,100 injured, and the approximately 130 civilians and soldiers held captive. With a moment of silence, please join me standing up. Thank you. You may be seated. In the face of this unfathomable tragedy, we gather tonight in grief, solidarity, and as a united community. We stand united knowing that even one of our very own community members, Vivian Silver, is being held captive by Hamas tonight. Vivian is a passionate advocate of human rights who has devoted her life to bridge building and peace between Israel and the Palestinian people. Now, she's a hostage, and not the only one. Vivian, the entire city of Winnipeg, the province of Manitoba, the country of Canada, mentions your name as we accompany you during these difficult times and pray for your safe return. This hits too close to home and fuels an unwavering solidarity and support for the families sheltered in fear, those recovering from injuries, those serving the nation in the army and as first responders, those enduring the pain of captivity inflicted by Hamas, and the dead. On behalf of Ambassador of Israel to Canada, Ido Moed, I would like to share with you his appreciation for this gathering tonight, to the elected officials for their prompt stand denouncing Hamas as a terrorist organization and their terrorist attack, and for their open statements in support of Israel's right to defend itself and protect its citizens. Just as the people of Israel find support from allies around the world, so do we, the Jewish community of Winnipeg. No matter your race, religion, country of origin, or political stripe, these differences fade into insignificance given these events. We are joined by friends and allies from diverse faith and cultural backgrounds, alongside elected officials from every order of government. Immediately after learning of the terrible news, we started and continued our communication efforts with our government representatives who are present here tonight, whose main objective was to ensure us that their unwavering support and offering of all resources available during these difficult times, not just in Israel, but here at home, here in our community, your home. Tonight, we stand united in the face of terror and with the people of Israel. We stand on the side of human rights, of life, of dignity. Hamas has revealed its true heart of darkness, its wish for death, destruction, and to create despair. Yet, the last 3 days, Israel has shown heroism and determination. Tonight, we, all of us, gather not only to mourn and support one another, but also to send an unequivocal message to our fellow Winnipeggers and Canadians. The heart-wrenching accounts from Israel over the last few days have filled us with anger, grief, and profound sense of being powerless. The videos that have surfaced online are too painful to even watch. Though our hearts may bear the weight of sorrow, we know that the Jewish people, resilient through history, will never, ever be broken. We are all connected to Israel, one way or another. Ein lanu eretz acheret. We have no other homeland. You are here tonight because the events unfolding there have had an impact on each one of you here and all over the world. That demonstrates our shared commitment to humanity. We will persist in sharing the truth, using our voices and all available means until this crisis has ended and beyond. Am Yisrael Chai. On behalf of everyone on stage representing the vast majority of the Jewish community, we honor your presence and we thank you. We will continue with the program. Thank you. I would now like to welcome Cantor Leslie Emery from Congregation Shaarei Tzedek and David Vamos and Janet Gates from Temple Shalom to lead us in Avinu Shevashamayim, a Hebrew song, a prayer for peace.
צור ישראל וגואלו, ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו, הגן עליה,
שחזרהם ויועתך ותקם ודרכם עצה טובה מלפניך אבינו שבשמיים צור ישראל וגואלו ברך את מדינת ישראל ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו
Strengthen the
strengthen
hands
the
of those who
hand
defend
strengthen the holy land
Avinu
שבשמיים
Deliver them
deliver them efforts with triumph Avinu שבשמיים צור ישראל וגואלו
Bless our land with peace, O God, and its inhabitants with lasting joy. And let us say,
let us say amen amen
Avinu שבשמיים,
צור ישראל וגואלו
ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו. הגן עליה, חברת חסדך, ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך, ונאמר
Thank you for that beautiful song. And thank you all for joining us. It is a great pleasure for me to now call upon the Honorable Heather Stephenson, the 24th Premier of Manitoba, to bring remarks.
Thank you so much, Gustavo. Good evening, everyone. Your Honor, Premier Designate, Your Worship, MPs, fellow MLAs, and friends of Israel. It is with a heavy heart that we gather as a community and as a testament to our shared values of peace, of justice, and of humanity. It is with profound conviction and unwavering unity that we express our steadfast support to the state of Israel, a nation that has endured tremendous challenges, yet remained resilient in the pursuit of peace. In these solemn moments, we condemn in the strongest terms the appalling acts of terrorism perpetrated by Hamas. Let it be crystal clear, there is no justification, there is no legitimacy for such acts of violence to take place. Terrorism in any form finds no place in a civilized society. We have all witnessed with heavy hearts the horrifying events of recent days, families torn apart, innocent lives lost, and communities shattered by the senseless violence. The world has watched in horror as Hamas terrorists committed unspeakable atrocities. They massacred families in their homes. They robbed over 200 young souls of their dreams while they were enjoying a music festival, and kidnapped the most vulnerable among us: senior women, children, and entire families who are now being held as hostages. And today we especially think of Vivian Silver, a Winnipegger who is among those held hostage. Our hearts go out to all those impacted as we pray for a safe return of all hostages. These acts are not just crimes against humanity, they are affronts to our shared values of compassion and of understanding. In the face of such darkness, our nation stands united in support of Israel as it defends itself and its people against these heinous acts. We emphasize that this moment must not be exploited by any party hostile to Israel for their gain. It is a time for solidarity, for coming together to uphold the principles of peace and justice that we collectively cherish. We recognize the legitimate aspirations of the Palestinian people and affirm our support for justice and freedom for both Israelis and Palestinians. However, there must be no mistake. Hamas does not represent these aspirations. It authors nothing but terror and bloodshed, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Let our unity be a beacon of hope, a testament to our shared commitment to a world where peace triumphs over violence and understanding prevails over hatred. Thank you, and may peace guide our path forward. Good night.
Thank you, Heather. Those were beautiful words. I would now like to call upon the Member of Parliament for Winnipeg South, Ben Carr, to bring remarks on behalf of the Federal Government of Canada.
Good evening. I want to start by thanking the leadership of the Jewish Federation in Winnipeg, specifically Jeff, Gustavo, Adam, and so many others who worked swiftly to make sure that we had an opportunity to gather together as a community in solidarity and so that we can grieve collectively as we try to work through making sense of the awful events of the past few days. I'd like to thank the elected officials that are here, many of whom we'll be hearing from, but I'd like, and I know it may be difficult in the crowd, but I know that some of my colleagues, Terry Duguid, Sherry Rollins, if you're an elected official, please just give a wave so that our community can see that you're here in solidarity with us. And thank you to those elected officials that have come today. What we have witnessed in the past few days has left us angry, sad, confused, devastated, and filled with grief as we try to comprehend the incomprehensible. These attacks are the most cruel and callous against our people since the Holocaust. We must be able to live in a world where we have the ability to state that we strive for peace, that we strive for a solution to the long and horrible conflict in the Middle East. We must be able to live in a world where we can do that, yet at the same time, where we can state unequivocally and condemn in the strongest terms that the rape, murder, and kidnapping of the elderly, of women, of children, we must be able to condemn it without having inserted at the end of that statement the word "but." We will not tolerate arguments of moral equivalency because there is no morality to be found in this situation. My Jewish colleagues in the Liberal Caucus and I have been working tirelessly day and night to try to find ways in which we can bring our people home from the region safely. Today I spoke with our Foreign Minister, Melanie Joly, our Transportation Minister, Pablo Rodriguez, and the Prime Minister. And all of them, particularly the Prime Minister, wanted to reinforce through me in these remarks the Government of Canada's steadfast support for Israel. And he wanted to ensure, as I'm sure many saw yesterday, that his heart and his compassion is with our community tonight. I also want to say, for those that may not have followed the news in the last few hours, that I am hope-filled and optimistic when I announce that the Government of Canada has stated that in the next few days, through the help of the Canadian Armed Forces and military planes, that we will be bringing our people home from the region as soon as it is safe to do so, and we will work tirelessly until everybody is home. On Saturday, after the events of the attack began to unfold, I spoke to Jeff Lieberman. And Jeff let me know that here in the community are 12 students from Danziger High School in Israel, accompanied by their teachers and their principal. And they have been stuck here, away from their home, as they have watched the brutal events unfold in their home country, but they have remained resilient, brave, and courageous in the face of it. And I want to take a moment before I continue to briefly speak about my time with them to ask Ofer, their principal, their teachers and students to stand, make yourself visible so that we can commend your bravery and your courage. The foundation of the Jewish community is strong. Its strength has helped us to overcome centuries of persecution, and this time will be no different. We are here for you. I am here for you. We will get through this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben, and our appreciation for the federal government to step up and bring Canadians home. I would now like to welcome Mr. Wab Canoe, Premier Designate of the Province of Manitoba and soon to become the 25th Premier of Manitoba, to bring remarks.
Good evening. I want to thank you for having me here today. And I want to acknowledge Gustavo and Jeff and everybody with the Jewish Federation of Winnipeg for bringing us together. It is important to be here. It's important for myself to be here. What happened in Israel was a horrifying act of terror against civilians. In the days since, I have spoken to community leaders as well as many Manitobans who are devastated, terrified, and worried about family members. I stand in solidarity with Manitoba's Jewish community, and I support Israel's right to defend itself. Israel has a right to exist, and that is not negotiable. I condemn Hamas's acts of terrorism. I do not want to see any civilians, Palestinian or Israeli, harmed. So I hope that every step possible is taken to protect civilian lives. It's important to stand up for the human rights of all people. Violence and terror are no way to address conflict. We need to work towards an eventual de-escalation and dialogue. However, the coming days will be a difficult period for all of us. And so that's why it's important for me to be here, along with other leaders, to show you our support. I made a commitment during our recent provincial election campaign to bring Manitobans together. And this is certainly not an easy issue for everyone to come together on. But I'd hope that no matter which community you come from, no matter which walk of life from which you hail, you can remain committed to us living together as one Manitoba. I believe in the people of Manitoba, and I believe that we are strongest when we stand united. So in the coming weeks, let us remember to be kind to each other, to help one another, and to stick together, even as this war and the terrible acts of terror which precipitated it may come between us. So I'm here with you in solidarity. I'm here with you in support. I'm here with you as a spiritual person. Miigwech, merci. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wab. Please welcome Marty Morans, Member of Parliament for Charleswood, St. James, Assiniboia, and Headingley, to bring remarks.
Tonight, we are all Israelis. I want you to know that the Conservative Party of Canada stands with Israel. I want you to know that our leader, Pierre Poilievre, stands with Israel. On Saturday, we woke up to unspeakable images. We must stand shoulder to shoulder with Israel as it defends itself from these criminal and barbarous acts. On Shabbat, Hamas brutally invaded Israel, invaded homes, killing hundreds, taking hostage hundreds. More Jews were killed in Saturday's attack than in any single day since the Holocaust. Some 1,000 human beings killed in a single day. It would be like 4,000 Canadians being murdered in a single attack. An unbelievable shock to the world. They are children, babies, men, and women. They were young people just out listening to music at a dance party. This was an unspeakable, unprecedented, brutal attack. As we speak, Hamas is threatening to execute innocent hostages. This outrage cannot and must not stand. Don't let anyone tell you that Hamas is the legitimate voice of the Palestinian people. It is not, and it is not their government. They are a genocidal, murderous, and evil death cult, and they must be defeated. Friends, the Jewish people, we've seen evil before. Jews have been persecuted for millennia, but we have survived. Conservatives unequivocally condemn the invasion of Israel by Hamas terrorists and the sadistic violence that Hamas has carried out against innocent civilians. Now is the time for moral clarity. There is no moral equivalency between democratic Israel and the butchers of Hamas. There is no response, no matter how strong, that would be disproportionate to the crimes Hamas has committed. Israel has the right to defend itself against these attacks and respond to the attackers as any other country would. You know, Theodor Herzl, the father of modern Zionism, was famous for saying, "If you will it, it is no dream." In 1948, that dream became a reality, a homeland in Israel, the promised land. Working together, Israelis turned a desert into an oasis, an island of democracy in a sea of autocracy. A Jewish state where Jews could live in peace, free from fear and persecution. Let there be no doubt, Israel is the ancient and indigenous homeland of the Jewish people. We will not let the butchers of Hamas take that dream, long realized, away from us. Many politicians will stand with Israel when it's easy. But listen to what they say when it is hard. They will talk about both sides. I'm here to tell you that there is only one side, the side of morality, the side of democracy, and the side of Israel. We see too often politicians at the United Nations unfairly single out Israel for criticism. I will always stand against the unfair singling out of the Middle East's only democracy. Already there are calls for Israel to de-escalate. I ask you, would any country de-escalate after having its people slaughtered in cold blood? No, they would not. To finish, I want to wish the people of Israel and its brave soldiers Godspeed on their mission to defend the promised land from pure evil. As Prime Minister Stephen Harper said, through fire and water, Canada will stand with you. Israel High. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Marty. Please join me as we welcome His Worship, Mayor Scott Gillingham, who will now bring remarks on behalf of the City of Winnipeg.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to see such support tonight. Thank you very much to Her Honor Lieutenant Governor Neville, Premier Stephenson, Premier Designate Canoe, members of Parliament Carr and Morantz. I know there are other elected officials here today, including my council colleague Sherry Rollins. It's good to have everyone here. I want to begin by thanking Jeff Lieberman and Gustavo and the entire team at the Jewish Federation of Winnipeg for organizing tonight's important event and bringing us all together so we can show our support, our unwavering support for Israel and Winnipeg's local Jewish community. Like many of my fellow speakers who've gone before me, I want to begin with this unmistakable truth. The attack by Hamas this past weekend was an indefensible act of evil. Innocent people who wished for nothing more than a day of normalcy, visiting family, attending a music festival, have been murdered. Innocent people like Vivian Silver, who has spent her entire life advocating and working for peace in the region, have been taken hostage. And due to the actions of a terrorist organization, Hamas, many more innocent people will be injured or will lose their lives. And those who survive will never be the same. It is chilling to learn that more Jews were killed in this attack than on any single day since the Holocaust. That is an alarm for the world, that we can never afford complacency when confronting extremism. So this evening I am here to express my unwavering support for Israel. We are all here to support Israel and its right to defend itself as a nation and its right to defend its people. But of course, the shock of this violence and the impact of this violence extends far beyond the boundaries of Israel's borders. To our Jewish community in Winnipeg, especially to those with deep ties to the homeland, please know that your pain is shared by all of us. We stand in solidarity with you tonight. As a symbol of that solidarity and support, tonight the Esplanade Real and the Winnipeg sign is lit in blue and white. It's to honor Israel, to stand with Israel in this time of mourning. As a former minister, pastor, I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the rabbis and the teachers and the spiritual leaders who are among us tonight. In these days and in the weeks ahead, you will be carrying a tremendous weight, the weight of your community. May your guidance and may your wisdom, your attentiveness and love be a source of hope for many. May your hands and hearts be strengthened for the work that you are called to bear. This is the time of year, at the end of Sukkot and during the Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada, there really should have been a time of joy and gratitude. Though it's been marked by violence and tragedy that is impacting our community, may our response be one of support for one another, one of uniting together, an unwavering commitment to peace and security in Israel, in Canada, and around the world. And may the greeting of shalom and all that that means, not just peace, but wholeness, completeness, harmony, may that to one another be more than just a greeting. May it be a prayer. Thank you, Merci, miigwech, shalom.
Thank you, Scott. I would now like to welcome Stephen Croft, Vice President of Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs, to bring remarks on behalf of CJA.
Thank you, Gustavo, and thank you to Her Honor, the Lieutenant Governor, elected representatives, rabbis, and all of you for being here tonight to support the Jewish community and the State of Israel. To have so many of our non-Jewish friends who have come to show their support during this time of grief is also so meaningful to all of us. So thank you for being here. Like everyone, I woke up to the news on Saturday in utter disbelief. And over the 3.5 days since learning that Israel had been attacked by terrorists, killing more than 1,000 innocent people, that disbelief has remained, but it's been joined by waves of intense sadness and extreme anger. To put this in perspective, and Marty referred to this, by population size, the massacre that took place in Israel over the weekend is the equivalent to 4,000 Canadians murdered, 10,000 injured, and 650 kidnapped. This past weekend was indeed our homeland's 9/11. I want to use my few minutes here tonight to bring clarity to what this horrendous, inhumane act of violence is about, and importantly, what it's not about. We're already hearing the inevitable "there's fault on both sides" rhetoric. Let me be clear. There are not two sides. The attack on Israel on Saturday was not about oppression of the Palestinian people by Israel. It was not about Muslim versus Jew. It was not about freeing Palestinian people from Israeli occupation. Israel hasn't occupied Gaza since 2005. The Israeli military has no presence in Gaza and only enters the territory when it must, in acts of self-defense against the barrage of rockets that land in neighborhoods in southern Israel. And even then, Israeli soldiers first knock on the doors of the homes of Palestinians who Hamas uses human shields to alert them and encourage them to flee the area. What happened on Saturday was about pure, barbaric terrorism. Hamas and their fervent supporters are not militants. They are not freedom fighters. They are terrorists. For the past 16 years, Gaza has been entirely and solely run by Hamas, a ruthless Islamic terrorist organization akin to ISIS and Al-Qaeda that counts Hezbollah, Iran, and the Taliban as its allies, and virtually every other country, including many Arab nations and the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank, as its adversaries. The world community, including the UN, has made it clear that Hamas will not be recognized as a legitimate organization unless and until it acknowledges Israel's right to exist and denounces violence against the Jewish state. But it continues to refuse to do so, while also sowing fear in and murdering any of its people who show dissent, Palestinian people, the overwhelming majority of whom do not support Hamas. Hamas has spent much of the billions of dollars Gaza has received in foreign aid over the years, not on the construction of schools or hospitals or housing for the Palestinians it rules over, but on building secret tunnels and on devising plans to destroy Israel and annihilate Jews, because that is the basis for their entire existence. So do not conflate the Palestinian-Israeli issue with the actions of Hamas. They are not the same. Our Winnipeg Jewish community counts Muslim and other minority groups in our city and province as friends. We sympathize on many levels with the Palestinian people who live under extremely difficult conditions. Jews both inside and outside Israel may have significant disagreements about Israeli government policies, and we express them openly and freely. That's what you do in democracies. But we are 100% united in that we do not sympathize with terrorists, and we will never take issue with Israel's right to defend itself and to protect its citizens against violence. On this point, Jews around the world have never been as united as they are at this moment. I leave you all with this reminder. As Jews, we are at our best when we come together and work with others constructively and peacefully, treating our fellow Jews and our non-Jewish friends and neighbors with respect. Israel has not declared war against Muslims or the Palestinian people. Israel has declared war against Hamas, and we must all keep this in mind as we carry on during the difficult days, weeks, and months that lie ahead. As angry as we feel, they are not the enemy, and we should not and must not engage on that basis. That's just not who we are. Thank you for being here tonight, and may God bless Israel, and may God protect her troops.
Thank you, Steve. I would now like to welcome Gary Sergienko, the National Director for Bridges for Peace, to the podium.
Thank you, Gustavo, and all of you for the opportunity to stand with you tonight. Just on my way here, I received a heart-wrenching message from our friend in Israel, our partner, a message that touched my heart and brought a reminder of Bridges for Peace visit to Kfar Aza in 2016 as part of a solidarity mission. During that mission, we were installing bomb shelters in the southern parts of Israel. This is what our friend wrote. So lost for words to absorb the tragedy of Kfar Aza. Everyone we met in 2016 has either been killed, kidnapped, or wounded. On behalf of Bridges for Peace, a Christian organization dedicated to supporting Israel, I stand before you representing thousands of Christians in Canada, hundreds of churches, and tens of thousands of Christians worldwide. I stand before you to express our deepest grief and condolences. Our hearts are heavy and our tears flow with yours. What has transpired is not merely a terror attack or a war, but a terroristic war, a series of barbaric acts of cruelty. Bridges for Peace stands with Israel and the Jewish community not only on the grounds of faith, but on the grounds of humanity. This is a matter of moral and ethical principles, and we must stand together to condemn such heinous acts. In the past days, we have received countless calls, emails, messages from churches and Christians who are fasting on their knees praying for the protection of Israel. Our commitment goes beyond words. Bridges for Peace has an international team of volunteers on the ground in Israel right now, and they're working tirelessly. In addition to providing food for 24,000 people in Israel every month, our team is currently packaging food and delivering it to those in the south, along with clothing and blankets. We're also raising funds to install bomb shelters in Kiryat Ekron and purchase ambulances. Our team is standing shoulder to shoulder with those affected by these tragic events. In the book of Isaiah, it says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Standing with God, standing together, we can overcome even the darkest of days. We can help heal the wounds and bring hope to the people of Israel. Thank you, and Am Israel High.
Thank you, Gary. As of now, at this point in the program, we've heard some unbelievable remarks from all of the speakers. I would like to ask everyone to join me in a huge round of applause for the statements in support of our nation. To all of you here tonight, your presence, simply put, make us whole. Thank you. Toda, toda, toda lachem. Prayers hold a unique power and can bring light to the darkest moments, filling us with hope and strength. Through these prayers, we will send our wishes to our brothers and sisters in Israel, offering comfort and strength during these trying times. I would like to call upon Rabbi Clea Rose and Rabbi Congregation Etz Chaim to lead us in a prayer for the for Israel Defense Forces, IDF Tzahal.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to stand with all of you. It's a bigger honor to stand with the state and the people of Israel. This is a prayer for Israel's defense forces. Misha Barach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah. U'yivarech et chayalei tzva Hagana Yisrael haomdim al mishmar atzenu v'arei Eloheinu migvul halvanon v'ad midbar Mitzrayim u'min hayam hagadol ad levo ha'arava bayabasha ba'avir u'vayam. Yiten Adonai et oivenu hakamim aleinu nifkaim lifnehem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu yishmor v'yatzil et chayaleinu mikol tzara v'tzuka u'mikol nega u'machala v'yishlach bracha v'hatzlacha bechol ma'aseh yedehem. Yiten Adonai l'chayaleinu chokhma bina v'dat shelo yispu tzadik im rasha k'mo shekatuv b'toratecha chalila lecha me'asot kadavar hazeh lahamit Tzadik im rasha, vaya chatzadik harasha, chalila lach, hashofet kol haaretz lo yaseh mishpat. Yidaber sonenu, tachdehem vitarem becheter Yeshua uvater nitzachon, vikuyam bahem hakatuv, ki Adonai Elohechem, haolech imachem, lehilachem lachem, im oivechem, lohoshiatchem, v'nomar amen. It's now my honor to welcome my colleague and my friend, Cantor Tracy Kasner, who's going to recite the El Malei Rachamim, the memorial prayer in memory of all those who've been taken over the last several days through these vicious acts of terrorism. I'm going to ask everyone who can to please rise.
El Malerachamim Shochein Vameromi Ametzem Nu Chanachona במעלות קדושים וטהורים וגיבורים כזהר כי המזהירים לנשמות חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל שחירפו נפשם למות על קדושת השם וכל אלה שנטרחו בארץ בידי המרצחים מאורגני טרור. לכן בעל רחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים וצרור בצרור חיים נשמתם. Adonai unachalatam began Eden menuchatam ve'anuchu ve'shalom mishkavam ונאמר אמן.
Thank you, rabbis. I would now like to welcome Ofer Zafrani, who is the principal of the Danziger High School in Israel in Kiryat Shmona. Kiryat Shmona is located in our partnership region and it's very close to our community. Danziger shares a special bond at their sister high school to Gray Academy of Jewish Education. Arriving in Winnipeg last Wednesday evening, Ofer and his students were unaware of the tragic events that would unfold in Israel during their visit here. I would now like to welcome Ofer to the podium to bring remarks as they're visiting with our community and staying with our community and families.
Thank you, Gustavo. To say the truth, I'm very emotional to be here, to see all of you. Jewish, non-Jewish leadership from Manitoba, from Winnipeg, from the Jewish community. For the last 26 years, we are coming here, students and teachers, to Gray Academy, to the Jewish community, to strengthen the bond between Jewish in Kiryat Shmona, in Danziger, and in the Jewish community here. For the last 26 years, this is one of the powerful experience that our students having. But this year, something else happened. I think for the first time, we feel why it is so important to strengthen this connection. When I am saying to my student, this is important that we will have this connection, not only for the Jewish community at the diaspora all over the world, for you too. Today I can say that I feel how it is important to be together. It gives us power, it gives us strength to stand in this awful, this nightmare that we are having. A lot of the speakers talk about the numbers. For me, for my student, these are not numbers. This is my brother that was captured at the south for 40 hours with terrorists above him, holding the door that they will not come, saving his wife and 2 sons and daughters. For me, this is my friends, my graduates that are still in capture in Gaza. For us, the Israeli, since I was born, I never thought that we'll be in this situation. I would like to say thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of all the Israelis that are here and not here, for the power that you are giving us to hear you standing here, giving us the hope that better days will come. Israel is strong. We will overcome. We had bad days, and we will have better days. Today, I'm proud to be Israeli here in Winnipeg, to know that Jewish all over the world will take care of Israel, will keep us strong. I would like to say thank you for all the families here that host our students like their own children. I spoke with Gustavo, I met Ben Carr, I met Jeff Lieberman, I met Abby, I met so many wonderful and amazing people that hug us, that make us feel like our family. This is not obvious. This is warmth our heart. I would like to send blessing and prayers for all the soldiers and all the injured that will heal. And together, we will make sure that things like this will never happen again. Thank you. Am Israel Chai.
תודה לך, עופר, לך ולילדים, חברים, תלמידים, ברוכים הבאים לוויניפג. I would now like to welcome the Ruach Choir to the stage to recite the Misheverach. I would ask you to stand up for a moment as we recite the Mourner's Kaddish for all of those who have fallen and are perished.
May I just add one more thing? Mayor, you took away my speech about shalom. And joking aside, I want to say that what you said is so appropriate. It's not just a matter of peace, it's a matter of fullness. And may our loved ones who we're about to honor with the Mourner's Kaddish, may they receive peace, and may that be sent to us as well, so that this is a full circle and truly a peaceful world. And let that start in Israel, with the people of Israel. Yikadal v'yikadash me'raba, ve'alma divrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayeh v'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kari v'yimaru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'mei almaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. Vitadar, vitale, vitalal, shemei dekudasha, b'richu. Le'ela minko birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'yimaru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'akol Yisrael.
Thank you. You may all be seated. We will conclude our program in just a moment. United in our grief, we are equally resolute in our commitment to make a difference together and weather these difficult weeks that lay ahead together. As Jews, our history is marred by genocidal hatred and bloodshed, and those who have sought to destroy Israel. Yet, it is that history that has shaped who we are, demonstrating our resilience. Despite facing seemingly insurmountable challenges, we have endured and thrived, emerging stronger and more united as the people of Israel time and again. Our ability to rebuild, create, and stand together is a testament to our unwavering spirit and the power of hope that drive us forward. And this, too, we shall overcome. And we will do it with your help. We invite all of you to consider contributing to the Federation's Israel Emergency Fund by visiting jewishwinnipeg.org. Again, jewishwinnipeg.org, the central website for our community, where we will be collecting support directly sent to Israel. Every donation, no matter the size, holds the power to bring relief and hope to those affected. The funds raised will be channeled to our essential aid, humanitarian efforts, and support for those directly impacted by the recent events in Israel. Your contributions will play a vital role in healing wounds, rebuilding lives, and restoring hope. Through our collective efforts and actions, we will overcome this together. The challenges we face will be met with courage, and the pain we have endured will be transformed into purpose. Let us remember that even in the face of adversity, the Jewish spirit remains unbroken, and our resolve is unshakable. Thank you all for being here tonight and for lending your hearts and voices to Israel. Together, we have and will continue to make a difference. To those of you that are visiting the campus for the first time, our friends, our supporters, our allies that are not part of ongoing Jewish identity in our Jewish community, you are part of us today because we are part of you. You have made us whole, and in doing so, we have started the journey of Tikkun Olam, repairing the world and making the world a better place. This has been a tremendous opportunity for all of us in our community, in our city, to ensure that Manitoba becomes the most welcoming province in all of Canada, and that the city of Winnipeg open its arms to all denominations and all communities, as we are the city for human rights. I will now join with you and with the Ruach Choir as they recite the Oseh Shalom, the Jewish prayer for peace, to close tonight's program. Tonight's program will be over as soon as we finish chanting, and I'd encourage you to stay and visit and to start this process of healing together. I'd like to thank you for coming, and we wish you, on behalf of the entire Jewish community, a safe return home. Thank you once again.